Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss about the importance of leadership. So leadership, it's a very beautiful concept and which is very much important for all of us to know. Now I'm not going to give very big gyan and all, but in a very simple manner, For example, as you enter into your college life, the leadership, it's a part of a life too. Like sometime you're being forced to take up responsibilities, sometime you're not forced to take up the responsibilities. But it might come one or other instances. And in order to speak about leadership, first I have to tell you a beautiful story of a bank manager. Okay, so the story goes like this. Okay, I'll tell you this true story. So it's a true story. It's not something like faking and all. So I had to cancel one of my accounts. Okay, for example, mine was a student account. I want to change my student account to basically a provincial account, normal account. Only then I can deposit some kind of fixed amount. Or else, because if it is a student account, I cannot transfer my entire amount because of so and so restrictions under it. So I went to Catholic Syrian Bank. So normally opposite to my college, we have the CSB Bank, Catholic Syrian Bank. So in that bank, normally when I approached over there, there was a branch manager. Branch manager means a person who's in charge of that bank, and along with it, there is also other kind of subordinates, person who's there in the account side, and other kind of subordinates. Okay. Now, normally I just went there and I said that, ma'am, I would like to change my account to student account to basically I want to change to a provincial account. So she was like, okay, fine, chalo Paman, I will do it. And this was basically said by one of the accountant, and she was sitting over the silent. She was doing her work. Okay, I was just waiting over there. So this branch manager was observing me that I was sitting in that place for a very long period of time. Okay, so she approached me. She said, "Hi, hi, how are you?" She asked. I was like, "Okay, ma'am, I'm good. How about you?" It's like, "Okay, what happened? Why are you waiting over here?" She's like, "Ma'am, I have been waiting." So she said that she'll be calling, but still now she's not called. I think she's busy. So even I thought not to interrupt her until she finished her work. She called me inside a cubicle. And then what happened? She made me to fill out the application form. And she said me, okay, Pawan, this is the thing, benefits of doing this one from savings account to provincial account for you. These are the documents you need to have. I didn't have photograph and all, okay. So she herself took the photo for me. And she some details which I entered in my form was wrong. That branch manager, okay, she did everything. Actually, to be honest, as a branch manager, she has so much other responsibility. Yaar. She no need to come and sit next to me and do this amount of work. She can ask her subordinates to do. But then too, she came over there. She sat with me. She made me to write a letter in front of her. She gave me the subject matter. She front of me only. She arranged all the documents because it was a very long process. She sat over there front of me. She did everything. She didn't go for lunch also though. She sat with me after completing that work only. She just moved out of that particular place. This is one such instance. Second such instance was today. It was today I went and visited South Indian Bank. South Indian Bank, and normally Mallus. Okay, so Mallus, we connect fast. So we just went, and I wanted to open a SIB account also, South Indian Bank account. So I said that here also there was the same issue like that. So this manager, I was so much impressed, yeah. This manager was so much smiling, very much, very calm, polite manner, was answering to all my questions. She also made me to write the letter in her own way. One branch manager, okay? Bank is really crowded. She sat next to me. She made me to fill up the application. She collected my documents. She explained about this banking exams for me. Even though I didn't ask, she herself said it. She said about a few important incidents about her life, why she took banking. Very politely, very calming way, she said it to me. Now, I want to tell you these are the two important portraits, pictures of leadership which I want to show to you. Now, how is this related to the leadership which I want to discuss with you guys? Very simple. The branch manager, the CIB, the South Indian Bank and Catholic Syrian Bank, these two managers which are so, I was so much inspired. Why? Because anything we go ask them, very smiling manner, very polite manner. Some offices, especially if we go to government office and all, some people will ask, okay, why are you coming here? Go speak to him. Come later. Come after lunch. Did you bring money extra? That all they ask. But I'm just telling you, I'm not telling only private this one is there. I'm not telling some offices are there which will be so much rigid, so much angry. They'll be like, yo, why should we even go behind of this guy? But normally there are some offices, or some leaders. When we go up to them, this I feel so much calming, yeah. I feel so much relaxing also after talking to them. I got exact clarity on how the entire system should work. So tomorrow, if 10 people are coming up to me, about regarding any brand queries, I know how exactly to basically guide them. So here are the two portraying messages of two leaders I want to show to you. I'm just putting these two leaders ka image in front of you. I'm telling that this is how a leader should basically be. Even though you are in the top position, regardless of how much of a top position you are, you have to go along work with your subordinates. or people who are below under you, always guide them and go work along with them, so they'll feel that okay, you're also part among them. Don't be like a person who keeps on ordering others, you do that, you do this, you do this. Don't be like a bureaucratic, like not bureaucratic, I'm not like that, like a dictatorship. Like a dictatorship, don't try to create such kind of regime. Why? Because literally you will build up such kind of hatred. Yeah, I think in my own leadership itself, this was the biggest mistake. I'll tell you my leadership ka process. Okay, so right from my school age itself, I was being the house captain. I'd been in the school, I've represented one of the cabinet posts that's about cultural literary it's like similar to our school captain post, cultural secretary post. Then I was a CSA, Center for Social Action, and I've been the heading leader for different kind of programs in our college though. Heading over there. Then I was part of the CSA. Then I was part in the campus director. Then university in charge representative. So like this, I've been taken multiple posts. But over the period of time, I realized something very much important. And what is that? Very simple. I have realized the value of importance of leadership. Why? Because I think when I was small, I whenever I become leader, people all will be so much angry. It's like, why is he becoming leader? Why? Because I used to be so strict. Yeah, I used to be so strict. If somebody do something, I'll be like, okay, तुम्हें तुम्हें complain teacher, तुम्हें he complain, going out of the class, punishing him, making him do that work, making him do this work. But laterally I understood that I was creating so much hatred among people didn't accept me as a leader because I was so much rigid, I was so much stern in my mindset. But then gradually, when I came after my graduation, or once I came after my 12th grade, I literally understood that leadership is a process where you're supposed to bridge everyone gap together. And if I am a leader also, forever in my life will not become a leader, right? That post for me is limited for certain period of time. For example, in a prime minister's office, 5 years is tenure. Cabinet ministers ka post, 5 years tenure. Council ministers, 5 years. Mayor means mostly 1 year. Yeah, so when this tenure is given to you, in that tenure, how much impactful are you doing? And even though after your fifth year, like after you complete your leadership period, if the people are able to remember that, okay, he was a wonderful leader, yeah, he understood our problem, he was very much friendly, and he know to manage everything. When such kind of message, when such kind of what do you call, when such kind of talks are basically said by the people, that itself shows that how much successful leader you were. Got it? So in your leadership, over the period of time, the first message which I want to share is that take up the responsibility, go work with the subordinates. First, when I was a boss, I was like, okay, you do that work, I was doing. So literally people didn't like me over there. It was when I was small, I used to do these mistakes. But then later I understood that if I am the leader, I have to take up the lead. I have to make sure that I work along with my subordinates and encourage them, ignite them, understand the problems, bring out solutions, and don't burst out. So normally when you're a leader, this is the problem. I literally burst out and tell that, okay, what are you even doing, man? Why can't you do this work? At least the simple work which is given was this. At least you can't do. When I keep on telling that, I think I realize that those people are so much annoyed. They were so much angry, and that kind of hatred also created toxic kind of relationships. So it's very important as a leader for you, as a this one over here, understanding others, providing solutions, give them always their priorities. So they should feel that, okay, as a leader, he's giving me priority a lot. Okay, so he should be having such kind of bonding, and you should even try to understand the problems which they're facing. So such kind of things in your building, trust me, those leaders will be very much recognized. For example, in our country itself, we have Mahatma Gandhi, Swami Vivekananda, and Martin Luther. Like in other countries, if you observe, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. When you observe all these kind of leaders, we will see why they are recognized even now. It's because of their leadership. Okay, so leadership may, it should not be like a bossy. Understand people, provide them with solutions, give them as a priority always. And as a leader always, I think the biggest challenge which you can face about individual conflict versus group conflict. Now what is this individual conflict? Individual conflict means very simple. That means that people come out with their issues, they will tell that. So okay, I will give you one more incident. Okay, so in Jan Aushadhi Kendras in Bangalore, so one of my internship which I was working over there in Karnataka, one of the internship, our major targets was to reach up to 100 Jan Aushadhi Kendras. Jan Aushadhi Kendra means generic medicines. Now what happened, we put a board that, okay, fine, okay, in Karnataka we had almost at that point of time 65 Jan Aushadhi Kendras, but now it's increased though. So our target was to reach up to 100. So Janaushadhi Kendra is like in 1 kilometer, you should have only one Janaushadhi Kendra. Now, why this rule was basically bought? Why? Because why? Why? Because competition, in order to reduce competition among this Janaushadhi Kendra, generic medicine. That means that generic medicines mean, like if you're buying a medicine outside for 200 rupees, that same medicine in Janaushadhi Kendra, you will be getting it for 20 rupees or 30 rupees maximum. That's it. Very less amount. It's done by the government of India, bought up by a Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Pradhan Mantri Janaushadhi Kendra. You can also buy it from there. Now, what happened? In 1 kilometer radius, you can keep only one Janaushadhi Kendra. Now, we cannot keep multiple. Why? Because it can affect the competition of other Janaushadhi Kendra owners. This was the issue. But when people approach to our office, telling that, sir, this is the problem, we require more Janaushadhi Kendra in our problem, because the population ratio of 1 kilometer, so there'll be so much houses. So we kindly request you to put so much Janaushadhi Kendras within one kilometer itself, so that many people can get benefited. So we took a decision. Okay, chalo, let's remove this barement of 1 kilometer this one, and let's put more kind of Janaushadhi Kendra. So our office took up the initiative of sending the letters to health ministers. All that thing was very second day. All these Janaushadhi Kendras owners, they came up to us and said, so we can't allow so much people to come. Why? Because why? The main reason is it will affect our competition of the business. Like for example, in one layout, if you're putting 3 to 4 JAKs, Janaushadhi Kendras, then it can be a competition, no? And people, one Janaushadhi owners will keep higher prices, other people will keep lower prices. That can also happen. So we had to deal with such kind of issues. So I think if collectively, if I was in the leadership post, I would have been given priority towards the collectivity for the benefit of the people. I would have been given second thought about these Janaushadhi Kendras owners. No. Why? Because I will see where has collective importance over it. Now, why am I telling this is because normally when you become a leader though, you get to understand that the leadership you have to give collective aspects is more important than with individual perspective. Individually, people will come that, okay, Pawan, this is the problem I'm facing, that is the problem I'm facing. Yes. But collectively, what is benefiting at large, that should be always given the priority. For example, if I just give in a simple way itself, someone person is coming that, they're coming, like one of the rules in a college is that they have to wear an ID card. Just giving a simple example, we have to wear an ID card. Now, what happens when we have to wear an ID card? One student comes to me, Pawan, you are the leader, no, please forgive me, only today I didn't wear, please forgive me. But in case if I support this guy and if I don't punish him, it will be an indirect message to that entire clan, that entire university, that yes, they can also do the same mistake. No. So you have to always give importance to the collective responsibility. So you have to try to convince them in such a way that, see, bro, I'm not everything over here. Now, as part of my responsibility, if I don't do, because of me, even my co-colleagues will also get fired because of it. So I kindly request you, this is the problem it is. I'm really sorry, I can't help you. So that politeness you should develop over the period of time. Okay. So that is very much important. And one movie which I got so much inspired by leadership was about Bharatani Nenu. Bharatani Nenu, it's a famous Telugu movie. If you, it's in uh, Amazon Prime also. I think in Netflix. I'm not sure about that. I saw it very long back, and even in Telegram also it's available. I think I saw that time in Telegram. I'm not sure though, but it is a very beautiful movie, yaar. About Mahesh Babu's famous movie about. See, he showed that after becoming the chief minister, how we try to control the entire minister, how much strict he was, how much rules he tried to introduce. And even though, like in his tenure, how much people really loved his leadership. Yeah, that was actually inspired that by movie. Bharatan and Inumaka movie. That was so inspiring. So much connecting though. Yeah, that's what I really want to tell it. Now, one such instance in my when I been the campus director also, I think normally when any program happen, anything happen, I normally always stand out with my group every time. I'm not telling that okay, Pawan is the boss over here. No, I always stand out with my group, and they feel that okay, even though I'll tell you one such incident in my college again. So what happened? We plan to organize this yoga ka workshop. So one such organization, we call them. We like, sir, can you please come? We are organizing. So we kept. I think we expected around at least 50 to 60 people to join. It was very good auditorium. We planned out everything. Everything was planned out. Everything was set out. Okay. Now at the day of that event, only four people were there. Four people who organized, me, five, and my co-campus director, and then the guest. And then hardly 10 people came. It was so much embarrassing. And program, I was so much collided, I couldn't even see the organizer's face. But as a leader, I had to take up the responsibility. I had to bear up the scoldings. Why? Because it was my fault. As a leader, I had to see even more, even though my subordinate leaders ka initiative it is even coming under me. So as a leader, many times you are supposed to take up the scoldings. You are supposed to take up such kind of what do you call it, such kind of chaotic instances also keeps on happening. So even I think even if you observe, that Mission Mangal ka movie itself, Mission Mangal ka movie, you guys remember, no, Akshay Kumar ka movie. So when that the first what's it called, fat elephant boy, and that first this one got failed out, what happened, the Akshay Kumar said it, so it was my mistake, it was my mistake, I take up this entire leadership problems. Similarly, even there was instances where, there was a very instances in terms of leadership shown in different portraits of movie. Okay, so even in terms of our governance also, we can see that, okay, one leader coming and telling that, okay, on behalf of my entire clan, I am responsible for this fault. I think this was yeah, this was an instances which had happened at many times. APJ Abdul Kalam. Yes, I was just thinking the name. Who was the name? Who was the name? APJ Abdul Kalam initiative itself. So in ISRO, one such instances where they want to launch something, it was a failure. The chairman of the ISRO, he came over there and he said that it's my fault, not my team's fault. Even though it was actually his team's fault, he took up the leadership mistake. And then, so when later date, when Abdul Kalamji went and asked him, sir, why have you done that? See, it's all because as I'm a leading team, it is my responsibility to bear it. Now, when the results came out, results means what? For example, when the second time they launched, it was successful. At that time, the leader didn't go up, and he said that, okay, I will be taking up the credit. No, as a leader, he made Abdul Kalamji to go and receive the award. So this happens most of the time here. As a leader, giving priority to a team and asking them to lead, that is a very important aspect here. Now, I think one very important last message which I want to give it for today is about, book recommendation. It's a beautiful book written by Kiran Bedi ma'am. Kiran Bedi ma'am. It's about fearless governance. Okay, Lieutenant Kiran, a former Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry, by Kiran Bedi, Fearless Governance. Beautiful book, yeah. After reading that book, I felt so much happy about, how our famous proud Kiran Bedi ma'am has basically taken up the leadership of controlling that entire Puducherry. Pondicherry, like the development it has, like how much of awards it has received after Kiran Bedi ma'am come, because Pondicherry was filled up with a lot of other kind of instances. For example, money laundering ka case, that issues, this issues, sanitization, poverty, many such things was there. But after ma'am came up, how much leadership took. She said three important messages which I'm able to recollect now. She said that, like, normally when I read that book, I feel that the author is talking to me. So when I was reading this book, so ma'am was talking to me. She was telling that, Pawan, there are three important messages for life. One is about you as a leader, it's very important for you to be accountable, very important. I think accountability concept itself is very important. So in 2020-21, one leadership post when I took, for one of the clubs, there I felt that I was not much accountable to my work. That means that I was giving my best shot in all my work, but I didn't inform my so and so head, so where this is the thing, this is the thing. So because of that, that created a lot of hate between us. Even still, we don't speak. It's because of that. But because of that particular incident, that was a learning from me. From that on, what all parallel subsequent leadership post I took, I was so much thought minded that I should be very much accountable. Accountability is very much important for you. Second thing is about, you must always be responsible for your acts and getting empowered. So as a leader, you get empowered, and it is very important that the powers which you possess, you have two options over there: either to use it in a good way or either to use it in a bad way. That power is basically lying upon you. Now it depends totally upon you. Okay, I think in Devunki Dev Mahadev, I was just watching this, yeah, when I was just small, this series and all. Devunki Dev Mahadev, Manasa, it's a beautiful character. Okay, so Shiva is one of the characters. So Shiva is Manas Putri, that's what it said. So when she comes in the form of Shiva's Venam, like all kind of powers, she's basically formed. So there's an instances where Lord Shiva uh, advises Manasa that, see, you have been blessed with one of the best boon powerful, like one of the most powerful venom powers. Venom means poisonous. This one, you can use it either for the welfare of the people or you can use it for the destroying of the people. Now that total powers lies with you. Similar way, there was an instances when in Shiv Puran itself, where Kartikeya means the Shiva is one of the son. He was actually the Senadipati. Senadipati means in charge of this army. So at one such instance, he had to retire from his, not retire, he had to move out of from his particular post, and a new person was appointed. That was Agnidev. So when Agnidev become this one, what do you call? When he becomes the Senadipati, he takes up that, he tells that, okay, I am the complete boss. You all should listen to me. And he'll start putting fire upon the people, telling that I am the supreme everything. So there's an instances, then later Shiva punishes him, telling that this is not the way on how you're supposed to be. I'm snatching away your this one powers. And where Shiva will come and destroy the Agni because of such brutality act of a leader. And then suddenly it was stopped by Lord Krishna. One such instance as it is. Now, I think what I'm trying to convey over here is that taking up the story of this mythology, mixing up and terms of and telling it to you in form of leadership is basically portrayed. See, even though when Lord Agni was so much powerful, this one, no, he had two things. That power he can utilize for the welfare of the people. Second thing, he can basically misuse it. So, a similar way, when the leadership comes, you have power with you. You have an either choice to basically utilize it for the welfare of the people or for the destroying it. For example, if I am the leader of a particular post, I can use it for welfare of all. Yeah, I can understand the people's problem, help them out, tell that this is the way how you need to improve. This is how you need to guide them, because that is a leadership post. Now, if I am the leader, I have different kind of powers which I can exploit myself. Basically, I can tell that I am the boss. You should listen to me, and I can. I'm utilizing, for example, snatching out people's things, basically torturing people. So this all happens here. I think even in country-wise analysis also, if you see, many countries, I don't want to name it though, but you can understand dictatorship regime done by many countries where it has basically spoiled their own countries also. So I hope you got some kind of essence about leadership. And do let me know, yeah, about any one message which you liked about today's video about leadership in the comment box. I would be much happy to read it. And that's all for today's video. If you do like this video, please do like, share it, subscribe, and do let me know your views. Thank you. Love you all so much. Goodbye. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat.